Welcome to the first day of second week of renewable energy and its future in India, PDP, Professional Development Program. And today's speaker is Dr. Piyush Sharan. He has two patents his name, and he is also the IEEE member and Institute of Engineer member and ACM member, and he has very wide publication in Journal of Repute. So I hand over the stage to the Piyush sir. His topic is very relevant and very futuristic topic, hydrogen as to cell electric vehicle, fuel of the future. So I hand over the stage to the Piyush sir. Piyush sir, please. And
Thank you,
thanks
sir.
for
Thank
coming.
you. Thank you for the introduction. So, I welcome all the participants to this second week of professional development program on the renewable energy and its future in India. And I have chosen the topic for today as per the theme. It is the very upcoming and demanding technology that is the hydrogen cell electric vehicles. So we have already jumped into the era where we are eradicating uh, the conventional fuel that is the petroleum, and we are into the era of adopting sooner or later, maybe the electric vehicles segment very soon. And electric vehicles are battery operated vehicles, and this is another technology that is based on the fuel cell technology, and we are using hydrogen as the fuel to drive our vehicles. It will be like an alternative source of energy when it comes to petroleum or battery, or for that matter, if we have to charge our battery or the battery electric vehicle, BEVs we call them, BEVs. So to charge them, we also need a supply, an electric supply. So hydrogen, on the other hand, is stored in tanks, and it can be converted into um it can be mixed with the air and oxygen to make a fuel, and it can propel it is a propulsion technology. So let's move on to the presentation of today. So we have today's flow of presentation as fuel cell electric vehicle, then hydrogen as a fuel, then working of hydrogen engine, the architecture of FCEVs, that is fuel cell electric vehicles, then the challenges associated with hydrogen fuel cell, and the advantages and the disadvantages. So let's move ahead. So we have fuel cell electric vehicles that are powered by hydrogen. They are more efficient, and they are more efficient than conventional internal combustion engine vehicles. IC engine vehicles we had earlier, and they are more convenient and efficient. They only emit water vapor and warm air. So the major advantage of using such a fuel cell electric vehicle is that the carbon emissions are reduced. Okay, so there are no or negligible carbon emissions. In fact, I should say there are no carbon emissions. So it is a very sustainable type of electric vehicle that we'll be using. And the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, MNRE, that is the Government of India initiative, leads research efforts to make hydrogen powered vehicles an affordable, environmentally friendly, and safe transportation option. So, research have been going on in India. Already, it has been taken up in Japanese and USA based countries, and they have already started manufacturing FCEVs or hydrogen electric vehicles. We'll see some examples towards the end of the presentation. So let's move ahead. So why hydrogen? Hydrogen is considered as an alternative source of energy under the Energy Policy Act of 1992 and has qualified as a fuel for generation of electrical energy. So there is a chemistry behind opting hydrogen. We'll take up it later in this next slide. But before that, we should understand why hydrogen. Hydrogen is a clean fuel that, when consumed in a fuel cell, produces only water. It produces only water and no carbon emissions, and we have negligible carbon footprints. So hydrogen can be produced from a variety of domestic resources such as natural gas, nuclear power, biomass, and renewable power like solar and wind. These qualities make it an attractive fuel option for transportation and electricity generation applications. It can be used in cars, in houses for portable power and geyser options, and in many more applications. So let's see. So we have all studied this equation when we are maybe in our early stages of chemistry in our school days, that when hydrogen burns in oxygen, it gives out water, and with the release of some energy. So it releases a large amount of energy. And this equation is when that hydrogen is a gas and it burns in air and mixes with the oxygen and produces water, which is also in the form of steam, water vapor. Okay, so this is the main equation that we are working on with, and all the hydrogen electric vehicles or hydrogen fuel cell are working on the same concept. So what happens in this reaction is that when hydrogen uh, is able to, like, 1 minute, when hydrogen loses 2 electrons, then what happens? It becomes 2H plus. Okay, so we get H plus, 2H plus atoms we get. Now this 2H plus atoms plus half O2 atom will give us 2 molecules of water. So this is the equation that works behind with this concept. And hydrogen, when burns with oxygen, it gives a very faint blue flame, or you can say a very light blue flame, as you can see in this animation. And let's quickly have a reflection spot in which I'm asking all of you a question. When hydrogen burns in air with A, B, C, D, there are 4 options. So faint bluish flame, yellow flame, green flame, none of these. So you are right. The answer is A. It burns with a faint bluish flame. Okay. So working of hydrogen engine. Hydrogen fuel cells are powered by an electric motor and are therefore classified as e-cars or electric cars. The common abbreviation is FCEV, short for fuel cell electric vehicle, in contrast to a BEV or battery electric vehicle. So it will be always different from a conventional battery electric vehicles that we are having currently in our city, running as electric vehicles or mini metros that you must be seeing around us. And they are completely battery operated. That means you have to charge their battery uh, overnight so that you can use it the entire day, and you have to stop your vehicle when your battery starts to drain. So it has some advantages and disadvantages. Whereas when we use hydrogen, so we have large tanks that are installed on our vehicles that can store hydrogen, and then hydrogen gets mixed with the, we have a chamber in which hydrogen reacts with the oxygen present in the air, and that can produce only water vapor as a water as steam, or vapor as the emission. The only thing it emits is water vapor. Okay, water. And it produces energy also. We'll see the chemistry again in the next slides. There is one crucial difference between hydrogen fuel cell cars and other electric vehicles. Hydrogen cars produce the electricity themselves. Unlike you have to, in conventional electric vehicles, what you do, you charge the batteries overnight so that you can use it the next day. Okay. And that means you need some external electric supply to charge, first of all, your battery, and then the battery will run the electric motor that is installed in the vehicle. Okay. But in hydrogen fuel cell, you only have to fill the tank. It only takes, when you, it is also one of the advantages also that you have to charge the electric battery of the electric vehicle for, say, suppose 4 hours to 5 hours to completely charge. And then on the contrary, we can say that hydrogen when we have to refuel the hydrogen or fill the tank with hydrogen, it only takes 4 minutes to completely fill the hydrogen cylinder installed on a particular car, HCEV. So unlike it, uh, unlike in fully electric or plug-in hybrid vehicles, the vehicle doesn't get its power from a built-in battery that can be charged from an external power source. Instead, hydrogen cars effectively have their own efficient power plant on board, that is the fuel cell. So hydrogen tanks is connected to a fuel cell where the reaction takes place of burning of hydrogen with oxygen. Okay, let us have a look of the architecture of FCEV. In the fuel cell of an FCEV, hydrogen and oxygen generate electric energy is directed into the electric motor and the battery as and when needed. Okay, so if you can see here that there is a chamber here where it is the hydrogen tank, the fuel cell, and this fuel cell, there is the reaction that takes place inside this fuel cell, and it is able to propel the battery, the charge the battery, and this battery is able to propel the electric engine connected to the wheels, connected to the rear or front wheels. Okay, and this way the car may come into motion. Okay, so this is the chemistry behind this. In this animation, you can say in the fuel cell a process known as a reverse electrolysis takes place, in which hydrogen reacts with oxygen in the fuel cell. The hydrogen comes from one or more tanks built into the FCEV. So there are one or maybe more tanks of hydrogen that you can install on your vehicle. But when you install more hydrogen tanks, then the weight of your car or the vehicle also increases. So that is an advantage, as in the sense that you can have a longer duration of the vehicle that you can go to a longer distance. But on the contrary, again the torque will be reduced as the weight on your vehicle has also increased. So there are two things that you need to take care about, because these are contrary. So you can see here that the hydrogen atom is moving through this grid, and it is reacting inside this electrolysis. The electrolysis of hydrogen is taking place where it loses two electrons, and you can see this charge that is here, and electric current is generated by these two electrons. What happens then when hydrogen loses its two electrons? It becomes immobile two atoms. Okay, and it reacts with the oxygen atom and to produce two molecules of water. Okay, so you can see in this animation this hydrogen gets attached here and this oxygen, and you can see two molecules of water that have got produced here. So this is the animation that can explain how a fuel cell works of an fuel cell electric vehicle, and in which hydrogen is the fuel. The only result of this reaction are electrical energy, heat, and water, which is emitted through exhaust as water vapor. So hydrogen powered cars are locally emission free. Emission free, that means there are no carbon emissions, only water vapor is there. Okay. Then the application of FCEV. Most common type of fuel cell for vehicle applications is the polymer electrolyte membrane PEM fuel cell. In a PEM fuel cell, an electrolyte membrane is sandwiched between a positive electrode, the cathode, and a negative electrode, that is the anode. Hydrogen is introduced to the anode and oxygen from air is introduced to the cathode. The hydrogen molecules break into protons and electrons due to an electrochemical reaction in the fuel cell catalyst. Protons then travel through the membrane to the cathode. The electrons are forced to travel through an external circuit to perform work, providing power to the electric car. So the electrons that are generated through the electrolysis of hydrogen, okay, and that is able to turn the motor and your vehicle comes into motion. So you are charging, maybe you can use that small current that is generated to charge your battery, and the battery in turns will turn the motor whenever you start it, and your electric vehicle can come into motion. Okay, then recombine with the protons on the cathode side, where the protons, electrons, and oxygen molecules combine to form water. So the only emission that happens from this hydrogen is water. Let us see some key components of a hydrogen fuel cell electric car. You have a battery pack here, number one. There is a fuel filler, the opening through which your tanks can be refueled. Then there is a fuel tank here for hydrogen, to store hydrogen. Then we have a fuel cell stack in which all the combustion, all the reaction takes place. The electrochemical reaction takes place between hydrogen and oxygen. And the power generated can be converted into electrical power through electrical traction motor. Then there is a DC to DC converter, and you have a thermal cooling system. You have again a battery here, auxiliary battery for other equipments like your tail light, the headlight, maybe for some other lights and all that are installed. Maybe some for the camera sensors and all, for the sensors basically of the car, because these cars are hybrid cars. Okay, FCEVs are hybrid cars. Why I'm saying hybrid? Because they are there is fuel cell also. There is generation of electricity through the fuel cell, and also through the conventional battery system. So it is half battery electric vehicle and half fuel cell electric vehicle. So they are hybrid systems. So battery or auxiliary battery, why do we need them in an electric uh, drive vehicle? The low voltage auxiliary battery provides electricity start to the car before the traction battery is engaged. It also powers vehicle accessories. So I've just discussed that whenever you you push the button, start button of your car, then there is requirement of electric pulse. So that battery is for the accessories as well as to push start the car or to run the engine. Okay, to give a first engine start. Okay, then why the battery pack is needed? This high voltage battery stores energy generated from regenerative braking and provides supplemental power to the electric traction motor. So we will come to regenerative braking in our coming slides. There is a DC to DC converter. This device converts higher voltage DC power from the traction battery pack to the lower voltage DC power needed to run vehicle accessories and recharge the auxiliary battery. So it can, due to regenerative braking, we are using regenerative braking as one of the concept to charge batteries for auxiliary accessories, for like lights, tail lamps, for cameras, sensors, and all other things. And it also gives small energy to the battery pack, so that you can run you can also recharge the auxiliary battery also. Then electric traction motor, the FCEV, using power from the fuel cell and the traction battery pack. This motor drives the vehicle's wheels. So this electric traction motor is the main motor of the electric vehicle that is used to drive the vehicle. Some vehicles use motor generators that perform both the drive and regenerative functions. Then there is a fuel cell stack, an assembly of individual membrane electrodes that use hydrogen and oxygen to produce electricity. There is a fuel filler, a nozzle from a fuel dispenser attaches to the receptacle on the uh, vehicle to fill the tank. Then fuel tank, then where the hydrogen gets stored. So it stores hydrogen gas on board the vehicle until it's needed by the fuel cell. Then we have power electronics controller. This unit manages the flow of electrical energy delivered by the fuel cell and the traction battery, controlling the speed of the electric traction motor and the torque it produces. So we need a very high torque to move our car, because there is weight of the tank, that the fuel tank, and the weight of the fuel cell, and there is weight of the battery pack. All these cumulative, this FCEV becomes heavier. So the challenge is to make the car as light as possible, so as we can have less number of losses, in the sense that efficient conversion of hydrogen, and the hydrogen can run for larger distances. hydrogen fuel cell can make the car run for longer distances. So that is the main challenge here. Then we have a thermal system. See, when you apply brakes to your vehicle, what happens is that uh, for the conventional cars or for any conventional vehicle, I'm talking about in general, that when you apply brakes, what happens when you deaccelerate your bike or your car, and what happens that the disc brake, the when the calipers, you press the calipers on the disc or the drum of your vehicle, or the tire of the vehicle, then what happens, the disc or the drum, it starts to heat up. The energy that is used to deaccelerate the running vehicle, the motion in vehicle, turns into heat, and it gets exhausted into the air. Okay, so we are trying to control or reuse that energy that produced in deaccelerating, to convert it back into the electric vehicle. I have shared with you all that a video in the WhatsApp group also about regenerative braking. This guy who calls himself Mr. Electron has explained very well that how regenerative braking works and how you can extract electrical energy from it. Okay, through regenerative braking. So, moving on, the transmission transfers mechanical power from the electric traction motor to drive the vehicles. So, there is the transmission control, and you can transmit the electrical energy to mechanical energy. So, as you know, that the law of conservation of energy states that energy can neither be destroyed nor it can be created, can be only transferred from one form to another form. So only this happens here in this fuel cell electric vehicle concept, where the energy generated through hydrogen fuel cells is converted into mechanical electrical energy, and this electrical energy converts into mechanical energy. It gives a torque to the wheels of the car so that it can move. Okay, so that's the main concept. Then coming to regenerative braking. So regenerative braking, we can use the energy generated while deaccelerating to charge back the battery by means of a feedback system. So when you deaccelerate, the energy supplied by your feet on the brake pedal, okay, to stop the vehicle, can be used in, we are stopping an electric motor, mind you, because we are not using a IC engine. We are stopping an electric vehicle. So when you have an electric battery or an electric motor, you have to stop. Then what happens? You have to reverse the current. When you reverse the current, you suddenly get a regenerative torque, or you get a repulsive torque from the this braking system. So what happens, this region in regenerative braking, that external torque or the small current that is generated, that is not small, by the way. If you can, if you see the video that I've shared on the WhatsApp and on the description box in this of this video, you will see that it produces a large current, say about for a small DC voltage of 24 volt, you can create a like a current of 10 amperes to 11 amperes, which is enough to at least run a few electrical accessories, or you can charge the battery pack for that fact of matter, and you can use it for longer distances. Now you can use this regenerative braking. All electric vehicles have this concept of regenerative braking. So you can use while you are deaccelerating or pressing the brakes, you are pressing the brake pedal, you can still convert that energy into electrical energy, and you can use that to charge your battery pack. Okay, so that is regenerative braking for my side. So this is one of the concept cars from BMW, that is the BMW i Hydrogen Next, and the hydrogen fuel cell EV from BMW. So they have named their car Hydrogen Next. Okay, so it is always meant for the high society segment and will be priced above rupees 1 crore, because a typical hydrogen fuel cell car will be, if a small car, this is a SUV type model, but if you go for a small segment car, it will be near to 80,000 US dollars. That will be near about 65 lakhs. So a typical electric vehicle made of the hydrogen cell will be, cost will be very high. So let's move on to some another example. So this is another example of from Hyundai. Hyundai is making manufacturing this car called Nexo, and it is also based on the hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicle. Nexo is loaded with features and will be priced around 65 lakhs. So this information I have gathered from the internet, that it is a Japanese car. As you all know, Hyundai is a Japanese company, and they have priced it. They have already working on it, and its launch in India is around March 2022. So by March or the year end, this financial year end, in the month of March, we can see Hyundai Nexo on roads. And again, 65 lakhs is a huge amount, and for this you need to have an infrastructure also, because if you are using electric vehicles or fuel cell electric vehicles, then you need to have charging stations. See, this car is having a remote sensor parking assistance RSPA technology, and it will automatically park itself. So you can see in this animation that it is fully packed with features, and it will be really a great car on roads of India. But coming back to the point that hydrogen fuel cell, and you need one when you can move for when you completely fill the tank, you can move up to 480 kilometers, nearly 300 miles. 300 miles you can move with this car fully charged. Okay, in the sense that the tank of hydrogen fuel is completely filled. So you have to have a large number of infrastructure, in sense you have to have fueling stations. Where will you get the hydrogen fuel? Okay, you have petrol pumps on every kilometer or maybe half a kilometer, but fuel tanks you have not seen yet. It is yet to come or yet to launch in India. So as a perspective technology, you can say that the demand for infrastructure of Hyundai cars or electric vehicles or hydrogen refueling plants are also in need, and it will going to be need by 2030. By the end of 2030, most of the cars will be electric cars. Everybody will be using electric cars. However, we cannot expect that the conventional cars will be like removed from the segment, but it will be there on the Indian roads, but less in numbers as compared to electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicles. So fuel cell is a very promising technology, and India is going to welcome it soon uh, with warm hearts to in the month of March of 2022. So let's wait and watch for it to come on the Indian segment for the Indian consumers. So moving ahead, let's have some quick advantages. The propulsion in hydrogen fuel cell cars is purely electrical. So purely electrical means it is generating current by the chemical process. Okay, chemical reaction takes place, electrochemical reaction is taking place, and it is purely electrical. Virtually no engine noise and a lively start, because of this, the electrical, since it is an electrical car or electrical vehicle, it will be having no engine noise like in the conventional IC engines or the internal combustion engines. You have a very strong noise. If you have a diesel engine, you can hear a quite amount of noise, and it will have a lively start. That means it's a very smoothly start, and because of electric motors, it will give you full torque also to move at low speeds. So at low speeds also you will be able to move your vehicle in a very efficient manner. So it has a another advantage is that it will have a very quick charging time in the sense you will only have to fill the fuel, hydrogen fuel in the tanks, and it hardly takes 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, you have fuel tanks on board, and you will just have a this nozzle to fill the fuel. Okay, for the time being, hydrogen cars still have a longer range than purely electric cars. A full hydrogen tank will last around 300 miles, that I've already told you, approx 480 kilometers. 1 mile is nearly 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers approximately. So if since the company is claiming 300 miles, that means nearly 480 kilometers it can run with full charging of the or the hydrogen tanks are full, and the hydrogen tanks are full, it can move up to 480 kilometers. Then again, after 480 kilometers, you need a hydrogen refueling plant. So that's a major challenge here, because we don't have enough infrastructure for welcoming fuel cell electric vehicle. So that's a situation of dilemma also. The range of fuel cells is not dependent on the outside temperature. So outside temperature also does not affect on does not put any effect on the hydrogen tanks. And in fact, in cold weather also, the fuel tanks, since the hydrogen filled in these tanks will be in the liquid form. So some people may say it in the month of in the winters, the fuel may be jammed, or maybe the density of fuel may increase, and it may not give you enough propulsion or something like that. But it is not the case with hydrogen fuel cell. Okay. So and BMW has already tested one of its cars, one of its hydrogen next, and with an impact testing. So they have created an environment or simulated an accident, and they have verified that neither there is no leakage of hydrogen from it, and there is no breakage in the hydrogen tank also. So they are claiming that the hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicle is very safe. Okay, so we move ahead. Let's see some of the disadvantages of FCEV. Disadvantage, or you can say there are certain limitations currently. So currently the biggest shortcoming of hydrogen fuel cell cars is the sparsity of options for refueling. So this I have already taken up. So there is no infrastructure, so you need to fill the hydrogen in your tanks. And if you, it is not enough that you can only drive 480 kilometers, you have to drive more. So you need refueling stations at least every kilometer ahead, or maybe 2 kilometers ahead. Okay, so that is how you can only then you can expect the segment to go for hydrogen fuels or hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles. Otherwise we are in a chicken and egg situation. When there is no services, why will anybody go for FCEV car? अगर आपके पास सर्विस ही नहीं होंगी, हाइड्रोजन के रिफ्यूलिंग प्लांट्स नहीं होंगे, so why will I buy a hydrogen fuel cell car? Okay, so that's my point here, that a hydrogen engine is refueled at special fuel pumps. Normal pumps में नहीं fuel कर सकते उनको, जहाँ पेट्रोल मिलता है या जहाँ CNG मिलती है, उसके लिए special fuel pumps चाहिए. Okay, which in the future will probably find their way into ordinary service stations. As things stand, however, there are still very few refueling stations for hydrogen powered cars. So this is the chicken and egg situation. Why? Because पहले तुम आओ, chicken पहले आया कि अंडा पहले आया. Okay, so whether the chicken has arrived first or the egg. So that is the situation, that is the required here. So it'll have both. We have to have both things in simultaneously. You have to build the infrastructure, as well as you have to create a segment or the market for the consumers to buy this electric vehicle. So that is a big challenge here. Okay, so the initial
Sir,
price.
what type of specialty is needed in the
Yes,
hydrogen fuel pump?
can you please repeat, sir?
So, what type of specialty is needed in the hydrogen fuel pump?
हाइड्रोजन फ्यूल पंप, यू कैन से हाइड्रोजन भैया एक वल्नरेबल फ्यूल है. हाइड्रोजन बर्न करता है ना, सो यू विल हैव टू हैव अ वेरी, जस्ट लाइक सीएनजी पंप्स में आपको क्या चाहिए होता है, वही चीज उसमें भी चाहिए होगा. कंप्रेस नेचुरल गैस है, यू कैन नॉट अलाउ लीकेज ऑफ एनी सॉर्ट एट एनी टाइम, है ना. इसीलिए मैंने लास्ट पॉइंट देखी जो डिसएडवांटेज में, हाइड्रोजन फ्यूल सेल में बी रिस्की. अगर आपने केमिस्ट्री का एक छोटा सा एक्सपेरिमेंट कभी किया होगा, हाइड्रोजन बर्न्स विद अ पॉपिंग साउंड. जब आप हाइड्रोजन गैस के आगे एक स्प्लिंटर लेके जाते हैं, ग्लोइंग स्प्लिंटर, सो व्हाट हैपेंस, इट बर्न्स विद अ पॉप साउंड. तो बड़ा ब्लास्ट भी हो सकता है ना. इट इज रिस्की. ओके, तो आपको व्हीकल स्टॉप करनी है, उसको चार्ज करने के लिए आपको जहां से हाइड्रोजन फ्यूल हो रहा है रिफिल होगा, वहां पे आपको एक सोफिस्टिकेटेड डिस्टेंस मेंटेन करना होगा कि कोई कहीं से लीकेज हो तो कोई दूसरी कार ना जल जाए जिस कार में हो रहा है, मतलब यू हैव टू हैव अ वेरी सोफिस्टिकेटेड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फॉर हाइड्रोजन फ्यूल। ओके, उसके साथ आप हाइड्रोजन के साथ काम करें। हाइड्रोजन बहुत तेजी से जलता है अगर ऑक्सीजन में, आपको दिखेगा नहीं, इट हैज अ वेरी फेंट ब्लू फ्लेम। अगर आप डे लाइट में उसकी फ्लेम को देखेंगे तो आपको फ्लेम दिखेगी ही नहीं, बट आप उसके सामने कोई कागज लेके जाएंगे वो जल जाएगा। ओके, सो दैट इज वेरी रिस्की हाइड्रोजन के साथ काम करना, और इसीलिए वो इतना चैलेंजिंग है अभी। ओके, आई होप दैट आंसर्स योर क्वेश्चन,
Yes, sir.
Mohammad Yusuf. Okay. So let's move ahead. FCEVs will be very expensive to buy. I have told you that it is in US dollars, it is around $80,000. That if you convert it into Indian currency, that will be around 65 to 60 lakhs and something around that. So it is capturing a huge capital, and it is not targeting, as of now, not targeting the general segment. It is only targeting high society people who can afford this kind of money to buy such a vehicle. And that is also a very challenging part, to launch it in a segment for the general public or for the middle class family members who are expecting salaries in the mid range. So that is a very challenging task. So another reason for the high purchase price is that hydrogen fuel cell cars tend to be quite large because of hydrogen tanks take up a lot of space. So अगर आपके पास छोटी vehicle है, so you cannot put hydrogen small tanks, you cannot put, you have to put at least something around 4,000, I think 40 kg तो कम से कम आ ही जाए आपके टैंक में, क्योंकि आपको उससे रन करना है, तो बहुत डिस्टेंस पे जाना है उसके लिए। तो जैसे आपका कैपेसिटी होती है सीएनजी की, सीएनजी के कितनी कैपेसिटी होती है टैंक्स में? डज एनीबडी हैव आइडिया? इमरान सर, आप हैं?
सर नॉर्मल जो हम लोग अपनी लखनऊ की
9
करवाते हैं
kg
जो
तक, 9 kg और ऑनवर्ड्स होती है जनरली।
9 kg। और इसमें सर हाइड्रोजन फ्यूल सेल में इसमें जो कैपेसिटी दिखाई है 40 kg तक है, जो अभी हमने देखा है इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल जो Hyundai और ये बना रहे हैं BMW। तो इतना हैवी 40 kg तो आपका सिर्फ यही हो गया। इमेजिन द टैंक्स जो है इतने हैवी होंगे, उसमें इतना फ्यूल लेके जाएंगे आप, तो कितना डिस्टेंस कवर कर पाएंगे और क्या होगा, वो सब तो खैर बात की बात है। बट इट्स चैलेंजिंग टास्क, मतलब बहुत बड़ा एक टास्क है ये कि इसको कैसे मैनेज करेंगे, हाउ विल दे मैनेज ऑल दिस। सो दैट इज, और इतना बड़ा चीज आप एक छोटे सेगमेंट में नहीं ला सकते हैं। दैट इज व्हाई दे हैव लॉन्च्ड इन एसयूवीज फर्स्ट, और ज्यादातर एसयूवीज ही निकलनी। इवन इफ यू सी कन्वेंशनल इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल, जो बैटरी ऑपरेटेड इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स है, दे आर, जैसे नेक्सॉन ने निकाला अभी, टाटा ने नेक्सॉन निकाली ईवी। सो दैट इज ऑल्सो हाइब्रिड सेगमेंट है, वो एक एसयूवी समझिए उसको एक तरीके का, है ना। And also there is another disadvantage of fuel cell is that the operating cost is also very high as compared to the battery electric vehicles or basic electric vehicles, because the cost per mile of running hydrogen cars is therefore currently almost twice as high as that of the battery powered. मतलब 2 गुना दाम लग जाएगा, it's almost double the price of a battery operated vehicle. ओके, तो फ्यूल सेल है, फ्यूल का कंजम्पशन है, प्लस बैटरी भी आपको टाइमली, मेंटेनेंस चार्जेस भी ऑब्वियसली ज़्यादा होंगे। कभी आपका नोजल खराब हो जाएगा, कभी कुछ खराब हो जाएगा, कभी आपका फ्यूलिंग रिफ्यूलिंग में जब है कहीं लीकेज ना हो, तो उसके लिए भी आपको यू हैव टू बी वेरी, लाइक इट इज अ रिस्की टेक्नोलॉजी, बट लीकेज इज अ वेरी disaster, can be very disastrous. So some of the disadvantages are these. Okay, so let's see some of the challenges. अभी हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किए हैं some challenges. एक तो ये कि हमें सबसे पहला जो है सोर्स, नंबर 1 चैलेंज इज सोर्स. Why? Because when we are manufacturing हाइड्रोजन भी 2-3 तरीके से मैन्युफैक्चर किया जाता है. You can manufacture hydrogen in many ways, in fact not 2 to 3, but the common method that we know, that we have studied in our chemistry in class 10th or maybe in, when a metal reacts with an acid, It produces a salt and hydrogen. So that is a simple reaction. So suppose if we are if magnesium is added is burned with hydrogen chloride, HCl, sorry, HCl, no, this. So it produces what? MgCl2 and hydrogen. So hydrogen can be produced by this reaction of metal and acid. So a metal when reacts with an acid produces hydrogen. Okay. So, but this is not a conventional technique. This cannot be used because we have to reduce our carbon emission. Obviously, there be some heating required, some combustion will be required, and you have to prepare carbon-free renewable resources. We have to you have to manufacture hydrogen in a very carbon-free renewable fashion so that there is no डिटेरिएशन इन द एनवायरनमेंट. भाई फायदा क्या हुआ इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल का लाने का अगर आप उतने ही कार्बन एमिशंस फिर कर रहे हैं. ओके, सो दैट इज माय पॉइंट हियर कि जो हम हाइड्रोजन प्रिपेयर करेंगे, दैट द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ हाइड्रोजन शुड आल्सो बी इन अ वेरी सस्टेनेबल manner as when it comes to environmentally, in the sense, in the environment sense, it should be very sustainable, and the carbon footprint should be as low as possible. So that is our major challenge, number one, for the production of hydrogen. Second is the infrastructure that I have already discussed, that we are in the chicken and egg situation. Once the hydrogen is made, it must be distributed via special pipelines and tankers to an extensive network of hydrogen refueling stations. But who will buy the vehicles if the stations don't exist? And who will invest in the stations if the vehicles don't exist? So both things are going hand in hand. हमें दोनों चीजें साथ में चाहिए. हमें व्हीकल्स की पॉपुलैरिटी भी बढ़ानी है और उसको सर्विस करने के लिए व्हीकल स्टेशंस भी बनाने हैं. ओके, चार्जिंग स्टेशंस जिनको हम बोलेंगे. Then we have fuel cell. This device converts hydrogen to electric power. The challenge is to make it light, cheap, robust and durable. तो जो फ्यूल सेल है जहां पे रिएक्शन होगा, फ्यूल सेल में ही रिएक्शन होगा, हाइड्रोजन विल गेट मिक्स्ड इनटू विद द oxygen present in the air, and it will react by producing electric current, and water vapor will be emitted. So that reaction, we have to make that fuel cell efficient, in the sense it should be light, it should not increase the weight of the vehicle, and should be robust and durable. It should go for long, like if we are fitted with tanks in our cars. Okay, so कितनी बार आपने टैंक कार का टैंक चेंज कराया है? प्रॉब्ली एक बार भी नहीं कराया होगा, बिकॉज इट इज ड्यूरेबल एंड रोबस्ट. सो दैट थिंग शुड बी देयर, एंड फॉर द फ्यूल सेल also it should go for as long as possible, maybe up to the life of the car. Okay. Then fuel cell tank. Fuel cell vehicles must store enough hydrogen to go several hundred kilometers between refueling stops. यही चीज मैं बताना चाह रहा था. इफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं होगा तो बहुत डिस्टेंस तक हमें जाना पड़ेगा. तो फ्यूल टैंक भी हमें बहुत बड़ा नहीं बना सकते. हम ऐसे नहीं कर सकते कि 500 किलो हम हाइड्रोजन स्टोर करके रख लें अपनी गाड़ी में, और कहीं लीकेज हो गया तो पूरी कार भी उड़ जाएगी, सब उड़ जाएंगे. ओके, इट विल create a chaos. It will be a very disastrous. So refueling stations भी होने चाहिए. Now liquid hydrogen requires insulated tanks at -253°C. So most companies have chosen to compress the hydrogen inside high strength carbon fiber tanks. तो बहुत हाई स्ट्रेंथ कार्बन फाइबर टैंक्स बनाएंगे जिनका ऑब्वियसली वेट होगा थोड़ा. ठीक है. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो वेरी चैलेंजिंग टास्क कि हम कितना बड़ा टैंक बनाएं, कितना मटेरियल यूज करना होगा, सो दैट द वेट इज ऑप्टिमाइज्ड. Weight shouldn't be increased of the vehicle. So these are certain challenges. These are 4 segments in which researchers or MNRE are working, and they are this is a hydrogen challenge. I've put this logo here, that this is the hydrogen challenge. So these are 4 categories of challenges that we see currently. There may be others when we will be practically implementing this system, but currently there are these challenges. Okay, so this is from my side. Any queries anybody wants to ask about?
Participant, if you have any query, you can ask to Dr. Piyush. I think there is no query. Piyush sir, your lecture is very nice and informative, or also very clear. So I think there is no query. One student said no, sir.
Okay, okay.
Thanks a lot, Piyush sir.
Sir, I have a
Yeah,
question.
Yusuf.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. Mohammed, not seeing
Hamza.
you. Hamza, yes.
Sir, I wanted to ask sir about the batteries. Is there any ongoing research like to increase the density of the battery in the same
Yes, yes.
area?
It is going on, and in fact, the Chinese are working on this. And लिथियम आयन ही है सोल्यूशन, और तो कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है इसके लिए। बैटरी का क्या हो सकता है?
सर
लिथियम आयन बैटरी
ग्राफीन
यूज
का एक
करें।
हमने कॉन्सेप्ट सुना
हाँ,
था सर।
ग्राफीन ऑल्सो, बट उसमें कुछ डिसएडवांटेजेस हैं। लिथियम आयन आपकी लाइट है, बहुत ज्यादा स्पेस नहीं क्रिएट लेगी आपकी लिथियम आयन, है ना। देखते हैं आगे क्या टेक्नोलॉजी इसमें चेंजेस लेके आती है, बट करेंटली व्हाट वी आर सीइंग इज इट इज ऑलरेडी इनटू एग्जिस्टेंस, जो हाइड्रोजन सेल कार्स हैं। एंड देखते हैं आगे क्या होता है। फ्यूचर तो आगे बहुत कुछ दिखाएगा, like we have seen corona, but we'll see hydrogen based cars also. But lithium ion definitely is a good technology to work with, and people like from the Chinese domain and many researchers in these are working in this. But you see there are, आपने ये भी देखा होगा अभी जो इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स आई हैं, ओला इलेक्ट्रिक स्कूटर्स जो आए हैं, उसमें भी ओला इलेक्ट्रिक में तो नहीं, बट कोई और कंपनी थी, आई थिंक हीरो की थी या किसकी थी, टीवीएस की थी, वो इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल थी जिसमें कि बैटरी में से बैटरी बर्न करने लगी थी उनकी। तो काफ़ी एक्सीडेंट्स हुए हैं इस टाइप के, वेयर लिथियम बैटरी इज ऑल्सो फेलिंग इन द सेंस दैट इट इज एक्सप्लोडिंग, मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ ओवर चार्जिंग। ओवर चार्जिंग इसका एक ड्रॉबैक है, मतलब एक लिमिटेशन है। ओवर चार्जिंग हो गया तो इट कैन एनीथिंग कैन हैपन, है ना। तो अभी जो हम इसमें बैटरी यूज कर रहे हैं वो नॉर्मल बैटरीज भी हो सकती हैं, जो हमारी कैटालिटिक बैटरीज होती हैं जो हम यूज करते हैं कार्स में, अभी उनको भी आप यूज कर सकते हो, बिकॉज हमें तो सिर्फ उतना ही चाहिए ना जिससे कि हमारी इंजन ऑन हो जाए,
जी
है ना। इंजन ऑन हो जाए और उसके बाद तो हमारे पास जब व्हीकल मूव करेगा, हाइड्रोजन फ्यूल सेल अपना कंबशन स्टार्ट करेगा, सॉरी अपना बर्निंग स्टार्ट करेगा, तो हमारे पास वाटर वेपर से इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट होगी, एनर्जी जनरेट होगी, उसी एनर्जी से आगे कार मूव करेगी। तो इनिशियल टॉर्क जनरेट करने के लिए हमें बैटरी चाहिए। भाई गाड़ी को आप स्टार्ट करते हो, सबसे पहले पुश बटन या की को रोटेट करते हैं ना आप सबसे पहले, तो व्हाट डज इट, इग्निशन जो करते हैं, इग्नाइट करते हैं इंजन को, फिर इंजन अपना काम आगे कर लेता है, उसको धीरे धीरे पेट्रोल वो खाता रहेगा और अपना चलता रहेगा। ओके, सो वो टेक्नोलॉजी तो उतनी ही रिक्वायर्ड है। बाकी एक्सेसरीज के लिए और स्टोर करने के लिए कि हम लॉन्गर डिस्टेंस तक जा सकें, तो उसमें लिथियम आयन ही यूज हो सकता है। ठीक है, जो बैटरी पैक मैंने यहाँ पे बताया था, तो इस स्लाइड में दिखा रहा हूँ, यहाँ पीछे एक बैटरी पैक लगा हुआ है, देखो ये वाला, this one. So this battery pack is there, and there is a small auxiliary battery also attached here. So you are seeing two batteries now. Okay, so this battery pack is for the energy that is converted through fuel cell, and this is for igniting the engine for the first time. पहली बार इंजन स्टार्ट करने के लिए ये वाली बैटरी, ऑक्सिलरी बैटरी की यूज होगी। प्लस इलेक्ट्रिकल एक्सेसरीज जो भी लगा है, सेंसर्स होते हैं कार में, बहुत सारे इलेक्ट्रिकल एक्सेसरीज होती है, हेडलाइट्स होती है, टेल लाइट्स होती है ना, ऑल दीज लैम्प्स एंड ऑल, कैमरा सेंसर्स होते हैं, रिवर्स पार्किंग सेंसर होता है। तो इन सब के लिए आपको ऑक्सिलरी बैटरी की यूज हो सकती है, बट फॉर मोशन एंड मूविंग अहेड, मतलब आगे बढ़ने के लिए, टू ड्राइव द कार, you need this battery pack, and this, I think it should be of lithium ion. I have not got into much detail about this battery pack, but I think it should be lithium ion. Okay, I hope this answers your query, Mohammad Hamza.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Anybody else wants to ask?
Okay, thank you, Piyush sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
You spared the time for this informative lecture. Thanks a
Thank you
lot
so much,
once
sir.
again.
Pleasure is all mine, sir.
from my behalf as well as from the Department of Electronics and Communication. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir.
Okay.